Hi, I'm Dana Jelinek. The thing I enjoy doing most in the theater is set decoration. It's fun to imagine how a place might look in a different part of the country or world, or maybe even in a different time. Since I have a hard time memorizing, I like doing things where I'm not on stage. Good set decorating creates the play's surroundings for the actors and audience. It matches and can even add to the feel of the show. If the show is an old-fashioned one, you wouldn't use a couch from a modern family room. You'd use one that could have been used at the time of the play, like the couch pictured here. Set decorating helps the actors and audience become part of the world the show is in. If the play is set in a fancy new house, you want to make sure you use furniture, lamps, and artwork that may be in the house like that. You would only use older looking items if the play's author mentions them or the characters are interested in older things. So you don't need to figure this all out yourself. In the front of a script, you can usually find information about the characters in the play, where the play is supposed to be, and the time the play takes place, which is called the setting. In the picture here, we are given information about the family, their furniture, the style of the furniture, and that things are clean and neat. We also are told when the play takes place. If you look closely, you can see that most of the characters are older. How might that information help you figure out what should be part of the set? In the back of the script, you can usually find a drawing of where things should be on the stage. Sometimes the director will change things a little bit, so you need to work together. In this play, some of the most important parts of the play take place at the front door and especially at the desk, which is in the close-up picture. Look at the pieces of furniture that are needed. Do you see the notes about what they're used for? Now look around the room that you are in. What kind of room are you in? Is it a bedroom, kitchen, family room, or somewhere else? What kind of story could be told in the room that you're in? What's in the room? Think of 5 things that are most important to the story you could tell in your room. Maybe they include a table, picture on a wall, computer, light, or even a refrigerator. What colors are used? Is the room light or dark? Is it fun or fancy? Is it full of things or kind of empty? How would different colors or lighting change your story? Now let's take a look at the story where we can see how things in the room can change how we feel about what's happening. In the story of Cinderella, we see her bedroom is in an attic. It's dark and her blanket has holes that have been patched. The floors are very old wood and maybe even have splinters. Those things might make us feel sad or lonely. Now look at her stepsister's bedroom. It's bright and big, with warm carpet and new things. How things look tell us how differently these two girls live and help tell the story. In a minute, we'll look at some Grand Island Little Theater sets. There are different kinds of sets. Sometimes sets have to show more than one place at the same time. Like in the first picture, it shows a car repair business on one side and a restaurant on the other. Sometimes sets have to move because there are so many locations in the show. The second picture shows an example of things built that can be moved on and off the stage. Sometimes sets are just in one place, like the third picture. Now let's take a closer look at some Grand Island Little Theater sets. Remember, sets help us understand about the characters, the places they live or work, and what time period they live in. We'll look at these sets from far away and then closer up. What can you guess about the characters, when the play takes place, and when it's supposed to be? This is the set for On Golden Pond. Look at the picture. Can you guess about the people, location, or year? I'll give you a couple seconds before we look at things more closely. The thing I see in the picture here is a stone fireplace. Then I see the trees outside the window. What else do you see? Here I see a bunch of fishing poles hanging by the window. Do you see anything else? What do you think On Golden Pond is about? Well, it's a story about an older couple. They are at their lake cabin in the woods. The play takes place in current time, but it may look older because the couple furnished their cabin with their older things. This is the set for Moon Over Buffalo. First, I need to tell you that buffalo just isn't an animal. It's also the name of a city in New York State. Looking at the picture, can you guess about the people, location, and when the play is taking place? The first thing I see is the exit sign over the door, which tells me that that door leads outside. There are also posters on the wall. What else do you see? What do you see in this picture? The most interesting thing I see is a suit of armor. Can you see that the doors both have the word stage on them? Do you notice anything else? Moon Over Buffalo is about actors in a theater and what happens between them behind the stage, which is also called the backstage. The play takes place in 1953. Do you know the area where the actors get ready before a play is called the green room? That's why the walls on this set are green. The posters on the walls show some of the plays that may have been performed at this theater over the years. This picture is from the play Battle of Shaliford. This set is a little different because the director wanted us to just imagine where the walls would be. Looking at the picture, can you guess about the people, location, or year this play takes place? Take a few seconds and look at the picture. What do you see in this picture? The first thing I see are shelves full of old-fashioned groceries. Here's a picture of the other side of the room. In the background, I see a picture of a President of the United States. It gives me a clue as to when the play takes place. What else do you see? Here's a picture of most of the stage again. This play takes place in a general store, which was a store that sold a little of everything. It takes place in 1938. See all the things for sale in the store? We can tell it's in the fall and the show is set in the country, not the city. Did you notice the pumpkins for sale and some hunting equipment? The final set we'll look at is from Blythe Spirit. Here's a picture of the whole set. The fuzzy things are supposed to be ghosts. That wasn't how it looked during the play. It's just a photographer's trick. What else can you see? What do you see here? The first thing I see is a big window which shows me the size of the house. What else can you see? Here we see a nice fireplace. Is that a real fire or just lights? A set decorator needs to help make people believe that it's a real fire even if it isn't. Do you see anything else? Now we're back to seeing the whole set. This performance of Blythe Spirit is set in the present time, not in the past. But normally this play is set in the 1930s. This is why it's important to know what the director wants before starting to plan for decorations and colors and furniture for the set. The family in this show is wealthy. Did you notice their nicer furniture and decorations? Remember, Grand Island Little Theater spends as little money as possible, so you have to be creative with what you use. Sometimes you have to make things you already have look older or newer than they really are without ruining them. And many times you have to borrow things. Everyone needs to be careful with the things you use because they may belong to somebody else. You don't want to break anything that you borrowed. Would you like to help with set decorating? Grand Island Little Theater can always use people to help find furniture and items that make this set to come to life. We also need people who can paint walls and set pieces. If you're interested in set decoration, just let us know. Thanks for watching!